Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to make the USB utility case. I've got an example here which I'm just going to open up. So this is something I drew, so hopefully you guys are going to do something similar. I have the USB here, which is a sample which I've already made, and you can download that off Lampada. Then I'm going to get you guys to design a base or a top, something like this, which is going to have a little recess in the lid, and we're going to make the base. It's going to have a little notch there at the top, so we'll make a little clicky lid. Okay, so what we need to do, I'll start again. Okay guys, we're going to create a new design here, so I'll just go up here and we're going to create a new project. So if I go back to the home, I have here all my projects here. I'll create a new project and let's call it USB. Now for some of you guys, you might want to start designing from the start your designs. For most of you guys, you want to download off Lampada the USB drive. So I'm just going to copy it from my other file here. So if I go to USB drive, I'll just hit copy. And I want to paste it into here. And it's going to copy it across into that. So if I go back home into USB, I have my USB drive. So I'll just drag that out onto the desktop there. Oh, I've got to, first of all, I've got to save it. Just save it as USB stick. Once that's saved, I'll drag that out. Okay, now what we want to do, we want to actually start to draw our base and our top around. So first thing I'm going to do is create some new components here. So this will be our top, and this one will be our base. Okay, so I'll start working from the base to start off with. Okay, so I might just start with a new sketch. Create a sketch on, I'm going to select that plane there. And I'm just going to start out by drawing two rectangles. Now we have to actually offset that from the USB, because what's going to happen is if we print this, the USB case out, it will actually, we need to have some sort of tolerance in there. Otherwise we're going to get some errors when we try to print it out, because it won't fit the USB in there. So I'm just going to quickly just go around and just do 0.1 on each one of these. Next thing, we might make a space for the next part of it. From there to there, we might make a 3mm gap all the way around. Okay, finish that sketch. Now we can sort of see that we actually have a bit of an offset here. Okay, I'll just hit in the top right corner there, and we can start to extrude that part out. So I'll select that, and I'm going to extrude it up 18mm, because we need a little bit of a gap at the top to create our recessed and our clicky lid bit. Next thing, what I'll do, I'll create a new sketch on this plane here, and I'm just going to use the rectangle tool to drag around like that. Finish that sketch, and we'll extrude that face. sketch, extrude, sorry. So we can extrude that out. We'll extrude that out 3 millimeters. Next thing I want to do is create a new sketch on the top surface here. And I'll create a little rectangle somewhere around that part there. And another one over here. Okay, and we'll just give that, we've made that dimension between there and there 3 millimeters, so we'll just make it 1.5 millimeters on each one. Finish that sketch. And what we'll do, extrude that out now. And we're going to come out and say 4 millimeters. Actually 3 millimeters, sorry, because we don't want it to go too far past that. Yeah, so there's a bit of a, when we stick it actually into the USB, into the computer, we want that bit not to go too far forward. Okay, so I think that's getting pretty good. Next thing, what we want to do a sweep around the next part. So we'll create another sketch on this surface here, which is right here. And I'm going to draw a little shape. We'll just create a little arc, a 3-point arc. Okay, so what we want to do, if we have a look at the arc, we want to actually just go back in to check that sketch out. So I'm just going to go back and actually edit the sketch. If we look at that, what we actually want to have is something that's about 0.2 of a millimeter high. Now these graduations here, is 0.1, 0.2, it's about 0.3 high. And we can sort of see here it's about 0.6 long. Okay, now one way we can actually do that is actually just drawing a little circle like that, and see I've got it, that's actually 0.3 high at the moment. So I want to redo that arc to make sure it's only 0.2 high. So I'm just going to delete that and actually try another arc, 3-point arc, somewhere like this, and go to about 0.2. Now the good thing about doing it at 0.2 is because when you 3D print it, the 3D printer will actually do that. If you do it at 0.1, it won't actually print at 0.1 millimeters. It'll just disregard the actual bump and not print it. So you just have to be careful about that. Okay, I'm just going to delete that. Oops. Go back in and edit the sketch again. That. Go around and we're going to extrude that around. Next thing we're going to do is create a sweep. So we're going to select that profile, and then now we're going to select the path it's going to follow, and we'll just follow the path around the edge all the way around. And you click OK. Okay, and that's, so far that's like our base, pretty well done. Okay, the next part of this is to design the top part. But for you guys, I want to expand this and make this into your utility So you can do whatever you like with the design of this. Okay, so I'm just going to flick across onto the activate the top part of this. And what I'll do, I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to select a surface to sketch off, which will be this surface here. And I'm going to do 2 rectangles. First rectangle will be, I'm going to hit the letter P to project. I'm going to project a little spot over there and this corner here. And I'm going to select the rectangle tool, draw 1 rectangle, 2 rectangles, finish that sketch, and then I'm going to hit extrude. And I'll extrude that out. See how far I need to go. So that's right to the very end of the USB, but we can go a little bit further. So 15 millimeters and go OK. Then we want to create a new sketch on this surface here. I'll just draw a rectangle from there to there. Finish that sketch and extrude that out by 3 millimeters. Okay, now next thing we want to do is to design in here. We actually need to have this recessed part, but we also need to consider when we 3D print that it's not at a 0 tolerance. You need to actually leave a little bit of a gap there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do a sweep around that as a cutting sweep. So what I'll do, I'm just going to turn off the top and I want to activate the base again. And I'm going to draw another shape here on this surface here. I'm going to create a shape here. I'm just going to draw a line. Okay. Another line from, let's just draw it out here. I'll draw an arc again. Now I'm going to reduce the height of this down. So that's actually just below the top of that there. Just drag that down. So we want that to have a bit of a cut there. Okay, that's good. Finish that sketch. Now what we're going to do, we're going to actually revolve that around. We're creating a sweep that around. Cut. Okay, and we want to turn on the top. And that will cut a little section out. So when I do an analysis now, we should have a very good, I'll go back into the main drawing here, inspect a section analysis, and I'll just